Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler, powered by Coolbet Canada.
All right, it is 11:02 on The Lock Shop. Thank you very much for being here. The Lock Shop brought to you by our partners over at Coolbet Canada. If you've not yet signed up for an account at Coolbet, now would be the time to do it. Use the code LOCKSHOP when you sign up, and you will get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us and sub to the channel. We're very close actually now to 11.7K. So give us a sub; it'd be very much appreciated. The Edmonton Oilers have hit the ice for the morning skate, pretty much wrapped. Tommy Gazzola is down there. He will join us on the Oil Stream coming up. If you are here for Oilers content, we've got you covered all the way up until puck drop. Tonight, Lock Shop will go up until noon. And then we will have the Oil Stream. Tommy from the rink, probably already back at the home studio, but he'll join us there. And then we'll get into EST afternoons from 1 until 3. The Reed Wilkins Show is extended from 3 until 6:30. Gazzola will be live from the Ice House right across from the rink tonight for the pregame. And you'll be there for postgame as well. McDavid over 1.5 points. Bouche point, Draisaitl goal, Oilers money line. Sending that off to the boys right now. We discussed that on the show this morning, but we'll get that EST parlay up for you, and you can try to connect on a dub if the Oilers can find their way to a dub today as well. As for the Oilers lines, according to Stoff today, they're going to stick with McDavid and Hyman together. McDavid and Draisaitl together with Hyman. Nuge between Arvidsson and Podkolzin. That was what Trev was talking about earlier. Henrique with Brown and Kane. Janmark with Frederick and Perry. And then on the back end, Stoff did say that the D were rotating, but the way he posted it, Klingberg with Bouchard, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Nurse and Emberson, Kulak and Wallman. So I don't necessarily know. And Stetcher did skate as well. I don't necessarily know if those are the D pairs that we'll see tonight. And it looks like Pickard will be in between the pipes. All right, let's bring in Huss. This is the first time all playoffs we had to bring in Huss and go, what the hell happened last night, my man? That was, everybody gets one of those. Is that kind of what it was, or what happened?
It was, it started off very poorly and continued from there. Did you see Buchnevich's goal, like in the first minute?
I saw his second goal in the first minute. I missed the first one.
It was such a crazy goal. He gets the puck in like relatively close into the net in his feet, kicks it. Like it is going right into the net, obvious kick. And my God, the hand-eye he had, he just was able to just get his stick on it like an inch before the goal line. And it went in. I mean, it was a beautiful play. And then he had that, the tip in right afterwards, and it was 2-0. And it just kind of steamrolled downhill from there. I don't know. I'm thinking about this, with friends, and obviously I'm trying to think, hey, the team's still up 2-1 in a good spot. Like, what's worse? Losing 7-2 or whatever and just getting blown out the building and knowing that you weren't ever anywhere close to your best, or like losing in double overtime?
Oh, man, I think part of that is what team we're talking about. Like for Ottawa last night, probably hurts more to lose in double overtime when you're that close to a win than getting spanked.
Yeah. Well, I just mean if you're up 2-0 in a series.
Okay. So this is the situation. I think for a team that has been as good as the Jets have been all year, the 7-2 blowout is probably not as bad as dropping one in overtime, a tight one.
Yeah, listen, I think they go back going, we suck tonight. We got 2 days off before game 2 or before game 4. It'll be thinking about this too. So this game 4 in this series is Sunday at noon. That will be a very significantly different environment, I would expect, a Sunday noon game than it was a weird Thursday night game at like 10 to 9. So they just basically have to move on from that one. And if you look at the Jets all season long, when they've had a stinker, they've come back with a great performance the next day. So while it won't be as festive and as fun on WST today, I think you have to look at it as a bad night, a bad game for just about everybody involved. They know what they are capable of, and they'll need to do it in a much better fashion on Sunday if they want to come back up 3 games to 1. St. Louis is really good. They played awesome last night. They came out and absolutely took it to Winnipeg right off the bat. You definitely want to have a better start in the next game. And I think that, sometimes getting roughed up the way they did last night will put them in a better place to do that. So
I'm a pro Heli guy, but I'm just asking for the people. Are fans in Winnipeg at all concerned about seeing what happened last night with the goals against on him? I mean, he's had such a good year. I would assume there's a bounce back game coming on Sunday, but
yeah, I mean, it's, as I said, it's one game. And when you think about those first 2 goals, I mean, there wasn't really a lot that.
The second one was a sick tip too. I mean, that was a nice play.
And the one, beforehand was like the one that really was the killer last night. That's totally on Hellebuck is the 4th goal. Because the Jets in the second period actually really did start pushing the pace and looking more like the team we saw in the first 2 games. They got it to 3-1. And then afterwards, he went in to play the puck. The Blues, to their credit, had 2 guys on him. He didn't really have an option. He basically ended up getting checked, and they just tucked it in the net. And that was basically it. And then, I mean, everything after 4-1 was sort of, the 5th one went in. I think they were going to maybe yank him at the TV timeout, and then another one went in after that. And at that point, the game is lost. So, not a lot of good coming out of last night's game for the Jets. Doesn't seem like anyone was hurt. I mean, that would have really, really compounded things. They're off today, full day off. Practice tomorrow. I guess we'll get an idea whether Gabriel Velarde might be able to, slide back in. I think it's more likely game 5 or later, to be honest, for Gabe. But you knew St. Louis was going to come back with their best shot, knowing what they were facing if they lost that game last night. And credit to them for being the better team. And it's going to be up to Winnipeg to get their act together and be more like the team that we've seen all season long and in the first 2 games when they dropped the puck on Sunday afternoon.
We will we'll get to the NFL draft last night as well. We'll obviously set up the slate tonight in the National Hockey League. But let's continue with the NHL conversation last night. So St. Louis, as I tweeted last night, I said the Oilers need to find their inner blues tonight and go get a victory at home here against a team that has simply been better than them so far. So St. Louis gets the job done last night. Toronto, Ottawa. The Sens have been there. They've been there, but they have not been able to get the job done this yet. Dare I say the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I know Jake's over in the chat there, the Toronto Maple Leafs have found their clutch gene all of a sudden, Huss. What do you think?
I mean, listen, Brady Tkachuk tying the game. There was great energy in the building, but the Leafs have a level of resilience and I think just an inner confidence that we haven't seen in these Leafs teams before.
Yep.
And I don't know whether it is some of the personnel. I'm not sure whether it's the Craig Berube on the bench, natural maturation from the Matthews and the Marners and whatnot. But
probably Berube, don't you think? Like it's got to be.
Well, I think that's definitely part of it.
Yeah.
But you got to give credit to the players that are actually out there doing it as well, dude. That pass by Mitch Marner to Matthews on that goal last night. I mean, I texted it to the boys. I'm like, that was magic. And that is such an elite play. And then obviously they got to finish right away and, made it happen. Listen, the Leafs are a better team. They were better than the Sens all year long. I give Ottawa a lot of credit. I mean, these games have been really tight. You look at the numbers on everything, slot shots and high danger chances and everything, kind of a toss up, but They haven't been able to finish when they've had the opportunity. 2 games go to overtime. They got nothing to show for it. And it will be the Sens' last stand in game number 4. And, we've talked a lot up here in Winnipeg about the advantage of winning the division and, how beneficial it would be if you can get out of your series early while the other series probably goes the distance. Well, Toronto is up 3-0. They will have a chance to end this one quickly and in 4 games. I didn't have potentially the Tampa-Florida series ending very quickly as well. And
I did, but on the other side. It's like, so Florida's going home. Like you said yesterday, I mean, probably doesn't matter too much where this series is played, but they're going to be getting Ekblad back. I mean, they might be just a really, really difficult out for whoever they have to face again. I mean, it'd be if they could go on a run all the way back again to the final, even if they don't win it this time. With that being said, they look like a team who definitely can. It's damn impressive stuff here. Damn impressive. And the latest on Barkov, not ruled out yet for game 3. All right, there we go. We're back. We got her back. Brief hiccup in the power to the main machine, but we'll have Huss reconnect here right away. Let me just actually text him. Sorry, Lock Shoppers. We'll blame Bouchard on this one. Is Huss still there? I think I heard him. There we go. All right, Huss is back as well. All right, where were we? I totally forgot where we were. Huss, what were we? We're on Florida, Tampa, were we?
Yeah.
You
guys have power outage or what?
Yeah, I mean the power to the one router went out, which was kind of weird because everything else was still operating. It was kind of strange, but we're back. And we'll continue to set up tonight's games, obviously. For everybody in the chat.
Talking about Barkov.
It was Barkov. I was just saying, Barkov right now is in limbo. Hasn't been cleared. Hasn't been ruled out. Hagel has a hearing. What do you think happens?
Well, that was a heavy hit. I mean, he absolutely smoked him. Do you think he's going to get games?
I don't know, man. That was a pretty dirty shot because the puck was nowhere around, right? Like
taking out their best player.
Yeah, like I think we know what was trying to be done on that play. So if they were to suspend him for a game, even in the playoffs for that, I think I'd be okay with it.
If they think that Barkov's going to be out, I think he might get multiple games.
You think so?
I mean, that's a big time loss. I mean, if they take out Alexander Barkov from the Panthers lineup, I mean, I don't think Hagel has any sort of a history, but you know how it is. I mean, they basically suspend if guys are hurt. And that's why they're making a point of, I guarantee you, Florida's not going to clear him or give any good news before that hearing.
Yeah, that's why, like Paul Maurice 20 minutes ago said, Barkov not ruled out, but not cleared either. Like, there's no way they were going to come out today. I mean, I guess you can't come out today and say, oh, he's going to be out, and then if he can go, slot him back in, it would be a bad look. So they're gonna play dumb for today at least, and see what happens. I mean, most teams in that spot would do that. I'm sure Tampa would do that as well. So if you're the NHL and you're sitting there right now and you're like, okay, well, we don't know if he's going to go or they're not going to go, do you have to give him a game just to be safe here, or do you?
I think you might have to give him a couple, to be honest. I mean,
it was a heavy hit, unsuspecting. Like,
blindside. Completely interference, dirty, dangerous, and resulting in an injury that the guy had to leave the game and not come back. So to me, if for no other reason, I mean, it's terrible for Tampa. I mean, being down 2-0, heading to Florida, potentially without a guy that had almost 40 goals. But I mean, the playoffs are just getting going. The last thing they want is to basically give a green light for guys to take runs and cheap shots at star players with minimal repercussions the other way. So I don't know. Let us know in the chat what you think. I'm thinking 2 games for Hagel.
780-218-9999. Northside Sandwich says, guys, I just saw the video where you could hear the hit And you could tell it was solid contact. Jake over in the chat says, I'd be surprised if he gets a game, but we will see.
Really?
Cowboy says Scheifele got 4 games versus Evans. Similar shot. Would you describe them as similar, Huss?
I
think slightly different.
I guess there are some similarities to them. I mean, a guy that was pretty
unsuspecting
much
and yeah.
Getting absolutely trucked. This one was a little more bang bang. That one was of course at the very end of the game, which I think made it sort of worse. But I just think about protecting star players in the playoffs and the nature of that hit. I don't know. I personally think that they will do something suspension wise, just because they cannot set the tone early on in the playoffs that you can do incidents like that against star players, knock them out of games, and not expect to get a few games. So
if Florida can take care of Tampa in like 5, that's big to set up another run, right? Because you're probably gonna have some time to wait. You're gonna get like a week off before the next series. That's just like that. That's the last thing the Maple Leafs need. Mind you, they're gonna have some time off too, but a Florida team getting time off that's already been through it multiple times, I'd be a little bit, Jake, I'd be concerned, I guess, buddy. That's what I would say for you.
Like I was saying before, I mean, I think we both thought that the opportunities for the Leafs and the Jets, who won these 2 really tough divisions, would be hopefully you get out of your first round series successfully and in relatively short order. And then we just assumed that these other series were going to be going probably the distance. Now, Tampa could still absolutely get back into this series. I don't want to say that this is over. I mean, it's just 2-0. But the nature of losing the 2 games at home, having to go to Florida, that team is feeling it right now. I guess if they were without Barkov, that would be a significant loss for the Panthers. But I think we might see 2 teams that are playing in the second round in the Atlantic that are both well rested because they finished off their series quite early. Big chance for the Leafs to get that done in 4, not even have to worry about coming back home. Less wear and tear. I mean, a short first series, if you're planning on winning the Stanley Cup, can be so important because it's not going to be easy the entire way if you go the full 4 rounds.
Minnesota, we had a read on them last night. We liked them as a live dog at plus 130. Huss, I mean, with what they did last night, 2-1 series lead, another game at home here. Is it time to start considering upset is legitimately brewing here?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. I mean, Vegas, I don't want to say that, like, I expect Vegas is going to bring it big time, and I would not at all be surprised if they won game 4. But the way Minnesota's playing right now, and I've been talking about that line. I mean, now that Boldy and Kaprizov are there and playing with Joel Eriksson-Ek, I mean, they're sort of doing what the Oilers do. They're putting their nuclear option together. They're playing them a ton, though, and they're scoring goals. And like when those guys are on, particularly Kaprizov, but Boldy is an underrated star in this league as well. And I mean, Eriksson-Ek is a really, really good two-way player. I mean, that's a line that you can put up against any in the playoffs right now or in the NHL. And, Minnesota will probably come out on the right side of that battle. So I didn't see a lot of that game, obviously, because it was on the same time as the Winnipeg-St. Louis game. But as I said before, I liked Minnesota in that game last night as a home dog. But they had a big, big boost to energy from that home crowd, getting the fact that they had gotten the split and the big win in game number 2. And then I guess they're playing tomorrow, 3 p.m. game. So Vegas has to win that game. I think that if Minnesota wins that game and goes up 3-1, obviously they'll still have to win one more game, but they'll be in a great position to do exactly that. And that is an upset that I don't think anyone really had beforehand, just with how good Vegas has been. But they've been off their game, and that Minnesota top line is absolutely torching them.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I guess my priorities last night as far as watching games go, NFL draft. I was locked into the NFL draft. And then in Winnipeg, So I didn't catch a lot of the Minnesota game, but what I saw was everybody raving about Kaprizov and Boldy. And those two guys are, we know Kaprizov's special, and this could be the whole Boldy coming out party if Minnesota can get to the second round and this guy can continue to go, because he's kind of flying under the radar as a really, really good player there in Minnesota right now, and this would be a chance for him to continue to put himself out in the spotlight. Cowboy over in the chat says that Minnesota Vegas series is a pick'em, essentially right now, and that's with Minnesota being up 2-1 at this point. As for the NFL draft, because we'll get to the NHL slate here coming up tonight, let's just continue with our thoughts on things from last night. You had the Jets game, so you might have been distracted a little bit, but any thoughts on what we saw go down yesterday in the National Football League?
Well, first off, let's talk about this trade between the Browns and the Jags.
Just like in the movie Draft Day. It was the rookie GM, Jeff Carson of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who Sonny Weaver Jr. managed to take advantage of.
That was not lost upon me.
Yeah.
I thought Cleveland did some great business. They moved down 3 picks. Obviously, they don't get Travis Hunter, but they moved down 3. They still pick in the top 5. And they get a second rounder, a fourth rounder, and the Jags' first round pick next year.
And the first next year, yeah. It was a great haul.
For a team like Cleveland that has significant needs, I think this was some good business. And then who did they pick? They took that defensive tackle, Mason Graham from Michigan.
Mason Graham, who the reaction. It's funny. I went through a couple of different draft recaps today, and they were basically giving out A's or A minuses to every single pick in the top 10, including the Graham pick. I saw some people last night online were like, "This is a classic Browns move," but look, I like it. The Browns need to recoup some picks, and I like it from Jacksonville's perspective as well. By all accounts, they're going to play Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball, not as much as he would have done in college, I would think. But if you're, as you know, I have lots of money invested in Trevor Lawrence rookie cards. And now Trevor Lawrence has got Brian Thomas Jr., who was excellent last year as a rookie. Yeah. You throw in Travis Hunter here, and you got something to cook with offensively for Trevor Lawrence. So I don't mind that. And paying the price to move up, I thought it was heavy. But you are getting a guy who can fill 2 positions for you, depending on how much they want to use him on both sides of the ball, which has to come with significant value. And that's what you paid to do it.
Yeah. Listen, they did. This guy is he walked or ran away with the Heisman Trophy, and he's kind of a unicorn. Who's the last guy to really play on both sides of the ball? Dion? And Dion did the receiver just kind of occasionally.
Yeah. We haven't seen a dude like this in a long, 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 long time.
Is he the Ohtani of football?
I saw somebody yesterday say, "Please stop saying the Ohtani of football." It's funny that you brought it up. I saw that on Twitter.
I had actually never heard that before, but just the nature of that fact that you're kind of getting 2 players.
But yeah, how valuable is that dude? He's valuable no matter what he's doing, but to do both. And that's what they say about this guy too. Elite receiver, elite corner. It's impressive. So I like the move. I honestly like the move for both teams. Everybody was watching that Pittsburgh pick at 21. Many were expecting Shedeur Sanders, who, did you see, had designed a custom draft room to watch the draft in with his legendary branding all over it. And took it to another level.
Well, you know what? That makes sense. It's good that he did, because this is going to be a long draft for him. So he's getting plenty of use out of this draft room. Got a full night on the first round. We'll see what happens in round number 2. I'm not really surprised that he slid. The one thing that I'm a little surprised is that Jackson Dart went to the Giants. But I don't know, man. Shedeur, obviously he and Hunter did some great things, and they were pretty competitive in Colorado. But it doesn't seem like this guy's going to come in and be the franchise quarterback just on skills alone. And then you wonder just how much he fits in to the team dynamic. I mean, he's had a very unique upbringing. He's sort of been the centerpiece of everything that Dion has done, and that ain't the way the NFL works. I think a lot of teams felt like they don't really like the makeup, the character issues, if you will, and I don't think they want to deal with Dion either. So this will be humbling for him. I would think that he gets picked in the second round at some point.
Yeah, well, Jake's over in the chat, like, and this has just been like live coming in. He goes, Shedeur to go 33rd overall, which is the Cleveland Browns with the first pick of round 2 today, plus 150. Then Jake follows up and says plus 165, and then follows up moments later and says plus 175 now. Holy moly, the slide continues. So now here's the thing. Cleveland picks 33 and 37, 36. So they have the first pick and the fourth pick of the round. Do you think they use one of those two picks on him?
I think there's a lot of teams that are just like he's on their DND.
Yeah, just straight up, don't touch him. Yeah.
Like, we'll look at some of the other guys. What'll be interesting is if, like, Pittsburgh is on the clock in the second round, if he is there. But, like, I wouldn't take him just because you think, oh, well, some people think he's a first rounder. I mean, if you're taking a quarterback that high, you have to think that he can come in, start for you, help you win games, make the playoffs, and be a real competitive team. And I'm not sure whether it's just the baggage that comes along with Shedeur Sanders and everything around it, but it certainly seems like a lot of the hype that happened in and around the regular season was generated probably more from the college side of things, certainly than the interest in the NFL. Yeah, they do have. I'm just looking up.
Yeah,
right
I'll hit a couple of chats. Look that up there. A sailor says, why would the Browns take him at 33 when no team before 36 needs a quarterback, which is a great play. You're right. Houston and Tennessee draft before they pick at 36. Also, a quick note, when you brought up the Steelers, I scrolled into the second round to see, and then I see Todd M over the chat confirming it. The Steelers actually don't have a second round pick. So he will not be going to Pittsburgh in the second round unless they trade up. I'm assuming they have their third round pick. Yeah. The next time the Steelers pick, it's at 83. So we'll see what happens there.
You can bet the 33 overall pick. Trayvon Henderson, the favorite at plus 155. Shedeur's there, and Jake's just said that line's moving up, plus 175. And then Luther Burden and Will Johnson at plus 850. Jalen Milroe, the Alabama quarterback, plus 950. What we'll really find out, and I guess it's kind of already happened, the fact that Dart went ahead of Shedeur Sanders. If we start seeing other quarterbacks selected before Shedeur, I think we know what we think. We
were joking. We were joking on our show this morning. He's going to come in just behind Nathan Rourke's brother Curtis, which would be kind of funny. We had Naylor on today to talk about the two Canadian kids, and they're not day 2 picks. They may be day 3 picks, or they might just sign as a UDFA after the fact. Can you imagine if a U Sports quarterback gets taken in the National Football League draft? And I know those around, like he's chatted with like every single team, and the Packers brought him in on a top 30 visit. That, like, I can't, like, a Canadian U Sport QB being drafted in the National Football League draft. The Rourke thing is one thing. I mean, some teams are familiar with his brother, and he obviously started the season 10-0, was in the Heisman chat for a bit. But I hope it happens. But I just don't see an NFL team using a pick, even in the 6th or 7th round, on a U Sport quarterback. I would be stunned.
It's a testament to just how good he is that he's in the mix and he's had as much interest that he is. And he has had, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, it would be an absolutely incredible story and almost unbelievable if you told us this at the start of the year. But when you look at the interest that he's garnered, the teams that have been in on him, and
they're doing their homework.
They're always trying to uncover the next jewel. And if they have to go across the border and pick a kid with a Canuck passport from, where's he from? Laurier?
Yeah. I'm like 99% sure. I think that's what Naylor said today.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty he didn't go fifth, where it was everyone thought he was going to go to the Jags. The Jags made that move, and the Raiders didn't have to move up at all, and they ended up getting him at number 6.
He's going to be a first-round fantasy guy, man. I bet you he goes somewhere between 7 and 12. In fact, I wonder if I'm on the clock. I was so fired up about the draft last night, I decided to enter another best ball league. And let me see, because this isn't a super flex. Let me just see if he's already gone here. Jamar Chase 1, Bijan 2, Saquon 3, Justin Jefferson 4th. Where is Jonty? So he's already being drafted at a draft ADP of 10.4. So yeah, right now somewhere between 7 and 12. But once you get to camp, you're like, man, this guy's gonna be a workhorse, and I could see him somewhere being more in that 6 to 8 range, mid first round.
Well, and if you're in a league that has any sort of keepers, or rookies, his value goes even up from there. Like, you could see him probably being a top 3 pick in a lot of leagues if there is any dynasty nature.
Yeah, like if you're doing a startup dynasty or keeper league right now, he would be a top 3 pick. And in rookie drafts for dynasty leagues, he'll be the first overall pick in the rookie draft, obviously. And then like in a keeper league like the one that I'm in, my Spite League that I triumphantly won last year, and actually also have the 5th overall pick in our draft this year. He'll be the first, like, so we protect 80 guys in that league.
Oh,
between the 16 teams, he will be the first overall pick in those types of leagues as well. Right. So yeah. I mean, I would like to get some stock in this guy, because he seems like the real deal, and he's going to a team where there's really not a lot of competition. It's really a nice landing spot for him. Whereas the other running back that got taken was by the Chargers, right? And they got Najee Harris. So the path won't be as clear for, what's his name? Omarion Hampton. I could be wrong. I think that's it. Path there won't be as clean as it is for Genty.
Hampton, running back, North Carolina. And the Packers finally took a first-round receiver.
And I like it. I like that play for them.
Well, it's been like 20 years, I think, since they, I couldn't believe it. They were referring to it, Javon Walker. Javon Walker was picked in 2002. I'm like, we've been playing fantasy football for a long time now. I cannot believe that that's over 20 years ago. The Ravens got that Starks, the safety, which is a nice one. And then the Chiefs got an O-lineman, which was nice. Explain this to me. How did the Chiefs picking at 31, the Eagles picking at 32, how the hell did they manage to get a 5th round pick from the Eagles to move up from 32 to 31? I mean, they must have said, we're taking this guy.
That's obviously it. They must have. Now, I know the guy that the Eagles used the pick on. Was he one of like the top 1 or 2 or 3 guys available still on like most people's boards? Like, so, I mean, Kansas City could be looking at it and going, we know you're going after this guy.
Alabama linebacker.
Yeah, we're gonna take him. So it's not like the Eagles reached on somebody after they made the trade. Like, I was looking at those draft reviews today, and the recap on the Eagles pick was they do it again on the defensive side of the ball. You know, like so. But yeah, I also, when that was going down, I was like, those, like the Chiefs, screw off. Like, you're getting something moved down one spot. What are we doing here? So
I guess, I mean, put it this way, to your point though, with a lot of people go, oh, the Eagles did it again. There would have been presumably interest from other teams to potentially trade into that spot. And
and take their guy, even if the Chiefs weren't going to do it.
Yeah. And I think the Chiefs wanted to stay in the first round. I mean, they'll have the 5th-year option on Simmons, the offensive tackle that they selected, which is something that, most teams want to have. Now, it's particularly key with quarterbacks. Another reason why Jackson Dart went where he went for the Giants. But But I'm happy. Like I've got now 2 days to really focus in on the draft before the Jets get back at it on Sunday. So I'm gonna be locked in today on the on round 2 and round 3, and see what the Chiefs are doing. They've got a couple picks today. And this draft, I mean, it wasn't as much star power at the top. I mean, obviously there's Genty, and then there's Travis Hunter and the one quarterback and Cam Ward. But there's a ton of linemen and like less sexy picks, but that'll be important. But the depth of talent in this draft apparently is as good as it's ever been. So, I mean, we're going to see starters coming off the board today in round 2 and round 3. And I think a lot of guys that definitely impact their teams on Saturday from rounds 4 through 7.
All right, it's Nielsen and Huss with you. Let's dive into the NHL slate tonight. The second round and third round of the NFL draft taking place tonight, starting at 5 o'clock Edmonton time. As for the Huss, what do you think about the Oilers tonight? I mean, we're going to spend the whole day, or we have spent, it's like 14 hours leading up to puck drop from when we started at 6 o'clock this morning. So we've got the inside market takes covered. Like I said, the way they started game 2, it was better than their start for game 1, but it was not a team that was desperate. Like the way they played better, but it wasn't like, oh my God, we have to come out on fire. It wasn't at that level. I would assume we see that tonight, but maybe not with this group. So what are you thinking tonight?
Knobloch should show them the first 5 minutes of the Blues yesterday.
Yes. Yes. Like go after it.
Playing in front of their home crowd. I mean, listen, this is what time does the game start tonight?
8 o'clock Edmonton time.
So it's 8 p.m. in Edmonton.
Yeah.
A Friday night. This will be a well-lubricated crowd.
Crowd's going to be insane. Yeah.
They need to, but getting off to a great start is so big for Edmonton because I think with how bad the first 2 games went, I'm not suggesting the fans are going to turn on the Oilers, but if all of a sudden they're down 2-0 in the first period, I think there'll be a lot of groans and there won't be a lot of it'll make the building a bit of a morose place. If they can come out and Connor get going and Leon, one of those guys, pop a goal early on, I mean, the belief will be there in the building. And again, you just got to win one game, get back into the series like St. Louis did last night. Unfortunately, there's a lot on the shoulders of McDavid, a lot on Draisaitl. I mean, we can have plenty of conversations about, the moves that the Oilers have made and what they've surrounded those guys with, but that team's going as far as their big dogs are taking them. And then, of course, what's the word on goaltending? Are they making
Pickard?
Split?
Pickard's going to start, and Pickard was good this year. I mean, from a backup perspective, he won 20 games. His goals against average and his save percentage were better than Stuart Skinner. He was the better of the 2 goaltenders so far this year. But I also don't think, like, if the Oilers continue to play the way that they played in the first 2 games, it's not changing. Like, they're giving up, just making it way too easy for the Kings to get grade A scoring chances. They just are. Like, they need to dial that in. Unless Pickard absolutely stands on his head, they're not going to win if they don't tighten things up. So the Oilers are a -143 money line favorite tonight at home against the Kings. The total is set at 6. And yeah, we do have the EST parlay, and I think Jake said it is up. I sent it over to him. There it is. What do we got? McDavid 2 points, Draisaitl to score again, a Bouchard point. Oilers win +550. If you like to ride with us on that one. I mean, it'd be big for the team to get the dub, but it'd be nice for the lock shoppers and the cool bettors to finally hit one of these EST parlays in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, as long as McDavid didn't score last game. So what's McDavid over 2.5 points today?
Oh boy, you're thinking big time game here.
+270. I mean, I am expecting a big game from McDavid. A McDavid game. Putting his stamp on the series and reminding everyone who the best player in the NHL is. With his team, with their backs against the wall, doubters coming out of the woodwork, goalies that can't make saves. It is on the shoulders of 97. But I do think he'll have a monster game tonight. I can't see a scenario where the LA Kings come in, just completely shut the Oilers down, and you don't see some serious pushback from McDavid in particular and Leon, but especially 97. So tell you what, I think the Oilers get the win tonight. And I think it's going to be led by 97. So what was the EST parlay again?
McDavid over 1.5 points, Draisaitl goal, Bouchard point, Oilers money line plus 550. Like, if you think the Oilers are going to win this game tonight, you should just ride with us on that parlay.
Yeah, because
that is the scientific layout of how this happens. I mean, that's the path to victory. So, like, you can get the Oilers to win at minus 143, but if they do win, McDavid probably has 2 points, Draisaitl probably has a goal, and Bouchard probably has a point, plus 550. So that's probably the way to go on that one. What about Montreal, Washington tonight, Huss?
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see it. I think that atmosphere in the Bell Center is going to be absolutely incredible. I do wonder whether they are about to basically do what the Sens have done. Play tough, hang in there, but just not be good enough to get a win. Washington's a short favorite at minus 119. Can the boost of being at home and that crowd and everything give Montreal enough to win? I am not sure. But we do have to think, I mean, they've been right there.
They have.
In both of those other two games. So I think like St. Louis last night, like Edmonton tonight, I mean, if these teams are going to get a win, I think this is the one. So where are you on Montreal? Do you think they get it done?
I think they do actually tonight. I think they do get it done. I think the crowd there will be enough, and they've played them tight. I mean, we said it yesterday when we were kind of recapping that game before. Like, Montreal kind of deserves a bit of a better fate than what they've had so far. And Logan Thompson's been pretty good. He's been a little scrambly at times too. So I still think the play here is probably Washington in 5, like I said at the beginning of the series.
Yep.
But Montreal's got to win a game if I pick Washington in 5, and I think this would probably be the game where that happens. So yeah, I like Montreal tonight at plus 101.
Now, can the Devils get back into this series with a win tonight? Biggest underdog on the board today, plus 143 at home against a Carolina team that's fed them their lunch pretty good in the first 2 games of this series.
I just don't see it. I mean, I don't want to completely write them off, but I don't see it.
Canes do a lot of sweeping too. They're pretty relentless. Rod the Bod will have the boys ready to go tonight. New Jersey's just in such a tough spot without Jack Hughes. I mean, you take any team's number 1 center out, and they're probably going to have a tough time winning games, especially against a team like Carolina. I was thinking about New Jersey, but I'm sort of with you. I think the Canes, although I don't know whether I really like that number at minus 169 on the road. I mean,
standalone, you probably don't want to touch it, right?
For whatever reason, they love the Carolina Hurricanes. We taking a look at the bets right now. The Canes 5-1 Cup favorite. Panthers now plus 525. Anybody get on them at 9-1 earlier in the week when we said for whatever reason they've dropped off? They hadn't yet played a game.
Yeah, that's before that series started. That was on Monday when we were talking about that.
They went from 7-1 to 9-1 for whatever reason. Leafs and Jets both at 8. Dallas at plus 825. How about that? They won that game and went from 16-1 to plus 825. And the Avalanche are now at 10-1. Vegas is at 13. Oh, and that number on the Wild, I think the Wild were 75-1 a couple days ago. They're now 23 after the start. And the Kings were the other team that we talked about. What were they, 20, 21, 22? You had all those teams that were 10 or less, and then the huge gap in the Kings. Obviously, that number is long gone right now with them being in the driver's seat in this series against Edmonton. Oilers 25-1 for all you believers.
Hey, if you think they're going to go full of Washington Capitals, remember Washington was down 2-0 to Columbus their cup year. Went on to get it done. I think the Habs in '93, last time a Canadian team won it, down 2 games to the Nordiques, went on to win the Stanley Cup. And the Kings aren't good on the road. I don't know what it is. I mean, you watch them play at home. They look like the best team in the bloody league. But they only won 17 of their 41 home road games this year. So they're looking for silver linings and positives. There's not a lot of them, to be honest with you, especially if the penalty kill continues to suck as bad. I don't know if did I tell you this yesterday? How they allowed 4 power play goals all of last year and 5 in the first 2 games of this series. It's ridiculous. Like the penalty kill last year in the playoffs, we talk about a lot of like McDavid and Draisaitl and Bouchard and stuff, but the penalty kill last year in the playoffs is the reason the Oilers went as far as they did. They only allowed 4 power play goals in 4 rounds, and they've allowed 5 in 2 games here to start this year, which is
buddy Stu,
which is not
Mark
good.
Stewart, master of the PK unit that was dominating last year.
You're gonna have to crank it up a notch here. Find something new to work with. Yeah, we'll see. NBA quickly tonight. Celtics and the Magic. Celtics on the road, 3.5-point favorites. The Bucks are 5.5-point favorites at home against the Pacers. Milwaukee returns home down 2-0 in that series. And the Lakers and the Timberwolves, after a split in LA, the T-Wolves are -3.5 favorites at home in Game 3 against Luka and LeBron. So I'll definitely have some eyes. I'm going to have different monitors set up tonight for this one because I'm not missing that game either.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
It's all there. I'm just, do you have any more for NBA?
No, that's it. Just the 3 games tonight.
Okay. I mean, let's just quickly take a look at some of these series prices after yesterday. The Jets, who were -1250, that's now -435. Still a significant favorite. Blues +325 to win their series. Montreal is +650. Caps -1,000. They're going to Game 3 tonight. This is interesting, and I know Cowboy and Chat was mentioning it. Knights and Wild is now a pick'em. -110 on either side for the series winner. If you like Minnesota, especially if you think they get it done in game number 3, that number's going to move significantly. So maybe a good time to get in, or maybe a good time to get in on Vegas. If you do think that this is a little blip for the Golden Knights. They were a huge favorite before the series, and now we are in a dead heat. Panthers -833, Lightning +525. Of course, they got to go on the road for the next 2 games. And what do you think about the Oilers? +375, Kings -500, despite no road wins yet in the series. I think that's maybe a bit of an overreaction, but hard not to overreact considering the way the first 2 games went.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what they're looking at. It's not like they were really close. They've had one good period so far in this series for the Oilers. So, well, 2. I mean, the first period of the last game wasn't bad. They outshot them, but they still came out of it trailing, which is not ideal. What's coming up in WST today, Huss?
Well, we'll do an autopsy of last night's game, flush it, and then get ready for Sunday. Ken Weeb's going to join us from St. Louis. We'll hear from the coaches from last night's game and kind of kick that around. John Mattis from The Score is going to jump on for some other NHL talk and hacks on the NFL draft, and then a little marble race. So, around 2 p.m. or just before Edmonton time, if you ESTers want to come by. We're still waiting for our first ever EST winner on a Friday afternoon. There's been some close calls, but it hasn't happened yet. Maybe today will be the day.
And we've got the oil stream coming up. We'll dive into these line combinations. Tommy Gazzola is ready to connect and join us as well. And we will continue to get you set for Game 3 tonight between the Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings, one that the Oils simply have to have. I cannot believe that we're sitting here in a world where, as of right now, Hussa, we could come in Monday morning and they could be eliminated. I can't imagine getting like 5 weekdays of playoff content out of this team. I will be livid come Monday morning if they get swept. I don't think they will.
Find a way to win this game tonight. Find a way to win this game tonight. Guarantee yourself a Game 5, and then look to even that thing up before it gets back to it. McDavid's going to be ready. Mark my words. Big game from 97 tonight.
There you go. You heard it right here from Huss, and hopefully he can live up to that prediction from Huss today. That's going to do it for the Lock Shop today. Huss, best of luck this weekend on all your bets, and we will talk to you on Monday, man.
See you, guy.